Jury selection for the trial of rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffery Williams, is underway this week in Atlanta. The 31-year-old Grammy Award winner faces charges related to racketeering and gang activity allegedly linked to murders and theft. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Prosecutors referenced several of Young Thug's songs in their indictment and will present some of his lyrics as evidence. So here to discuss this is Chuck Creekmur. He is the co-founder and co-CEO of allhiphop.com. Thank you very much for joining us. I actually want to get a little bit of clarification. I know that the prosecutors want to include lyrics. Has the judge said that they will be able to include lyrics in this case? Do you know?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
They have indicated that they'll be using lyrics. They haven't indicated specifically what lyrics they'll be using, but they will be.
What are the concerns about having rap lyrics used as evidence in this case?
I think there are a lot of concerns. First of all, rap is a very unique art. It's a lot of first person, a lot of braggadociousness. People like to articulate the toughness of themselves or their home or where they live or their crew. And sometimes it's exaggerated as well. So I think there's that. And then also with hip hop, it's probably the only art on the planet that's sort of persecuted in this same way. So if you have a country singer or a rock singer, they may have graphic lyrics as well, but it's not as in your face as hip hop. At least that's the perception. And I think that there's a stereotype attached to rap music too.
I just don't see how it works because O.J. Simpson wrote a book called If I Did It.
I know.
And he's still walking around.
I know. But he's right about sort of the stereotype, associated with rap, but also rappers. And I think that, what people don't understand necessarily is that, yes, sometimes people are telling the tale of their lives, but they're also like characters in hip hop.
Right.
If you understand
the same way that they are in a movie.
Exactly. If you understand the history of hip hop, you'll see recurring types of characters, right? And so they write
Terrence Howard
in
is
the
not a
voice
rapper.
of characters.
He played a rapper in Hustle and Flow. He's not a real rapper. In real life.
And you can do exactly. And so I think, obviously, as you can tell, Vlad and I have talked about this off the set. I'm wondering, there's got to be a concern when you consider the implications, a concern for people who are writing. I mean, how limiting is that if you think, oh my gosh, if I say something, this could turn up, as Exhibit A?
Yeah, I think there's a huge concern because, like you mentioned, rappers, at least, in my day, rappers were superheroes and they did have dual identities. I mean, certain artists literally have multiple identities as artists. And so in one instance, you may be literally a superhero, and in another instance, you may be a bank robber, or you may speak that in the first person. Some of those are cautionary tales, others are not. But at the end of the day, it becomes very scary when you're being creative and expressive, and then that can actually turn around and in some instances spliced in a manner that really makes you look worse. And it may actually be used in a case like this to sway a jury into believing you're exactly what you portray yourself to be.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the latest on the jury selection process for Young Thug's trial? And what do we know about this juror who didn't return for duty this week?
Got an essay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
The juror that's in question, disappeared, went on vacation. I'm not, she just vamoosed. And so she was ordered to write a 30-page essay on the importance of jury duty, which is, some people were like, just put me in jail. You have to even cite
30
sources.
pages. I mean,
pretty intense.
That's no joke. That's I think longer than my master's.
She needs a degree after this.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if this is going to be an indication of just how sort of slow and plodding this whole thing is going to be. So Young Thug is the one that's on trial, but they started off looking at like 28 people, and they've sort of whittled it down. a lot of deals were made in exchange for testimony. Some people will not have to testify. It's very complicated. Some people will not have to testify against themselves. They're allowed to plead the fifth. Others are not allowed to plead the fifth. Can you talk about why Young Thug in particular is the one that is on trial now?
Yes. So this is a RICO case, and as you know, the standard is a little bit different. RICO was initiated as a response to the mob because they were unable to get the people in the organization at the highest levels. So they were arresting a lot of the small time guys, or even the murderers at the bottom, some of the guys that were doing the heavy lifting in the organization, but unable to get those that were running the mob or the mafia. And so they're applying a similar thought process behind this. YSL, which is the organization in question, whether it's a gang or a music label, depends on your point of view. But Young Thug is essentially the person they see, or one of the people at the highest levels of this organization, that's accused of a number of things, including murder, drug dealing, and threatening people as well, intimidating witnesses and things of that sort. So that's essentially what they're charging him with. So his crimes are not necessarily as serious, as some of the other members, but he is accused of being at the top and running the organization.
All right. Well, Chuck, I hope we can have you on as the trial sort of continues to unfold, because I think it's interesting on a number of different levels, and I'm curious about how people within the hip hop community are feeling about this. But we have to let you go for now.
Absolutely.
Chuck, thank you.
Thank you.